You're making coffee. You hear the soft padding of paws on the kitchen floor behind you. You move to the living room. The padding follows. You go upstairs. There they are again, sitting in the doorway, watching you with that still, unreadable face. Your cat has followed you to every room in the house today. Most people laugh it off. They call their cat clingy or needy, or if they are being generous and loyal. But animal behaviorists studying domestic cat psychology have come to a very different conclusion. What looks like simple attachment is actually one of the most sophisticated social behaviors in the feline world. And the reason your cat follows you isn't what you think it is. The most common explanation cat owners reach for is affection. Your cat likes you. They want to be near you. It's sweet, it's simple, and it feels true. Some people go a step further and assume their cat has separation anxiety, that they follow because they're afraid of being alone. But here's the problem. Cats are not naturally pack animals. They didn't evolve to need constant companionship the way dogs did. In the wild, cats are largely solitary hunters. They don't follow, they patrol, they observe. They maintain territory on their own terms. So when a domestic cat consistently chooses to move through space the same way you do, following your exact path through the house, behavioral science tells us something far more intentional is happening. Behavioral researchers studying the social dynamics of domestic cats discovered something striking. Cats that follow their owners are engaging in what's known as social referencing. This is a behavior more commonly studied in primates and human infants. The act of orienting your movement and attention based on the actions of a trusted figure in your environment. What your cat is doing when they follow you isn't random wandering. They are using you as a navigational anchor. You are, in the language of animal psychology, their secure base. The concept of the secure base was first developed in attachment theory, and it was long assumed to apply only to mammals with highly developed social structures. But studies observing the behavior of domestic cats alongside their owners revealed measurable secure base behavior in cats, including proximity seeking, following, and using the owner's presence to regulate their own stress responses. Your cat follows you because your presence makes the environment feel safe enough to move through. In one observational study, researchers introduced cats to unfamiliar rooms, both with and without their owners present. The cats that had access to their owner moved more freely, explored more confidently, and returned to their owner between explorations. The cats without their owner present were more likely to remain still, hide, or show signs of stress. What the study revealed wasn't that the cats needed their owners to survive the experience. They were physically safe either way. What the owner provided was something more subtle, a reference point, a signal that the environment was readable. Your cat doesn't follow you because they can't be alone. They follow you because you help them understand the world around them. But that still doesn't explain the most unusual part of this behavior. If the following is about security and environmental navigation, why do some cats follow only into specific rooms? Why do they follow you to the bathroom and stop at the door? Why do they follow you upstairs but not back down? Why do some cats track your every movement during the day but disappear entirely at night? The pattern isn't random, and the reason it breaks the way it does reveals something unexpected about how cats actually perceive your home. We'll come back to that. To understand why cats follow at all, you have to go back thousands of years to before cats were fully domesticated, to a time when the ancestor of your cat was a small, solitary predator operating in open environments where survival depended on two things: knowing where threats were and knowing where resources were. That ancient cat didn't have a pack to warn them. They had to read the environment constantly, and they had to do it alone. When cats began living alongside humans roughly 10,000 years ago, something remarkable happened. They didn't just adapt to human spaces. They began mapping human behavior the way they had always mapped terrain. Humans became predictable, resource-associated, large-bodied figures in the environment. Something between a landmark and a moving territory marker. Over generations, the cats that paid close attention to human movement were the ones who thrived. The following became wired in. Not as submission, not as dependent, but as an evolved environmental intelligence strategy. And this is where it gets interesting. Researchers studying feline social cognition found that cats don't just track where you go, they track how you move. The speed of your walk, whether you're carrying something, whether you seem alert or relaxed. Cats read your body language with remarkable precision and adjust their behavior accordingly. A cat that follows you into the kitchen when you walk in slowly is processing the situation very differently than the same cat following you when you move quickly and with purpose. They are, in a very real sense, reading your emotional state and using it to decide whether to follow, wait, or retreat. This is what makes the following behavior so different from simple attachment. Your cat isn't just near you, they are studying you. Every time you move through your home, your cat is updating their internal model of what the environment means and whether it's worth moving through. Your cat isn't following you randomly, they're following you specifically. Research into feline social bonding has shown that cats form what behaviorists call selective attachment, meaning they distinguish between people in their environment and reserve following behavior almost exclusively for the individuals they have identified as safe, familiar, and resource-providing. If your cat follows you and not another person in the house, that isn't coincidence. That is a behavioral declaration. You have been categorized. You are not just a person in the environment. You are, functionally, part of their territory, a moving, responsive, trustworthy part of the world they need to stay close to. There's something quietly profound about that. In a species not designed for social dependency, your cat has chosen to make you part of how they understand their own home. Now, a word of warning. If your cat has always followed you and suddenly stops, pay attention. A change in following behavior is one of the earliest and most overlooked signs that something is wrong. Cats in pain often withdraw, not dramatically but quietly. They simply stop doing the things they used to do. They stop tracking your movement. They stop appearing at the doorway. They retreat and become still. This is an instinctive behavior rooted in predator survival. A vulnerable animal in the wild does not advertise its weakness by moving through open space. If the cat that used to follow you everywhere has gone quiet and still, and that shift has lasted more than a day or two, it's worth a visit to the vet. What looks like independence might be something else entirely. So the next time your cat appears behind you in the hallway, when you've moved from the bedroom to the kitchen and somehow they're already there, watching from the doorway, understand what you're actually seeing. You're seeing thousands of years of evolved environmental intelligence. You're seeing a solitary animal that, against everything in its nature, has decided that the world makes more sense when you're in it. You are their secure base, their navigational anchor, the reference point that makes the environment readable. They're not following you because they're needy. They're following you because in the ancient, quiet logic of the feline mind, you are the safest thing in the room. If this changed the way you see your cat, subscribe to the channel. We go this deep every week. And tell me in the comments, which room does your cat follow you into most? The answer might surprise you.